can also trade and take, and if takes, I take. If takes, queen e2, queen h4, g3, knight g3, check, c6, queen b7, knight h1, king there.
Wrong. Wrongo. Wrongo beans. A flaw of games right now seems to be this disease that's spreading from all of them. One of the first times I encountered it was playing League of Legends, where it seems like every round of that game is just waiting for the actual game of League of Legends to get started. You know, you're shooting the minions and you're not really doing anything. Eventually, you're actually actively interacting with the entire, board, if you will. And up until you're interacting with the board, you're just bored. Path of Exile, not exempt to this either. You're playing through a lot of the game without having full access to your build, which is the whole point of that game. But I mean, League of Legends, its reputation kind of precedes it at this point, and Path of Exile, it's an RPG. You expect it to take a while to actually get going. But what is this supposed super fun game of the year It Takes Two doing, not even getting started until Chapter 9? Yet the final chapter, that's when it actually becomes a video game? Very weird. I'll admit it does have the advantage of being a pretty fun, cutesy little Pixar-ish game up until then, but what kind of throws me is just like the unapologetic waiting for that Chapter 9 moment, when finally, at long last, you can play the video game. And the placement of it is really weird too. It's just kind of like off in this corner. You can almost miss it if it wasn't for the little thing, the little I believe the instrument is called a tuba. But yeah, it's just off in this little corner, and finally you see the heart of the game, which is of course the chessboard. One of the things I actually appreciate about playing chess IRL, and something that's kind of lost at chess.com, is when you take a piece, me and my dad would always just like slam the piece on the thing, and like when you take a piece, it's just like, it's like very satisfying to watch Harry Potter and the Wizard's Chess when the piece would actually take, like its axe and go. So It Takes Two Chess Edition does have a leg up on chess.com in that way, where when you take a piece, it just slam down on it. No crazy good like animations or anything like that, but it is a satisfying crunch, like a Goomba. Major critique of the It Takes Two is that it keeps sticking to this whole like you play the little toy piece, like he gets transformed into a little doll or whatever. And you have to actually walk over to the chess pieces, which I guess if you're like doing some kind of little role-playing adventure, that's fine, but it just gets in the way of what could have been just a really good chess game. Also, kind of the camera, you're focused in on your little guy, so you can't see the board very well. I don't know. It was a little lacking in that way. I would have rather just been zoomed out. I mean, obviously taking both characters out of the equation would have just been better. We don't need the whole story building up to this point, especially when there's zero foreshadowing that this was actually going to be a game about chess. With the one exception, of course, being that you get transformed into toys, and that there's two sides fighting. To give the game some credit, there were some surprising things that I noticed you could do, like you could move the pawn one or two spaces. I believe that you were able to do the castle move, where you move the king around the castle. It was also kind of a smart move and quite charming to keep it at the 5-minute timer, so that was that was pretty good. But other than that, I've seen better chess games, and as much as I like to have the game, see better avenues, see more and better variety of ways to play it, in order to play this with someone, you actually have to buy the It Takes Two game and play it with them all the way up to this point, just to play chess. So it seems kind of like a waste of time. Final review of It Takes Two, Cantaloupe.